This week on Pure Instinct Outdoors, we're hunting bighorn sheep here in Alberta. We're heading into the Wilmore Wilderness on horseback. And as everyone knows, this is one tough hunt. Anyone that has hunted sheep in the Wilmore knows what it's all about. 3 layers of gear, more than enough food, 1 rifle between the 2 of us, hiking poles. We're heading in.
My adrenaline's just pumping. Todd's behind me. Breakfast is waiting back at camp from the Wrangler.
Pure Instinct is brought to you by Weaver Group Limited, a leader in Western Canada's energy industry. Redline Powercraft and Yamaha. Trim FX. Red Wing Boots. Black Eagle Arrows. Alberta West Transport. Dave Booth Taxidermy. Deluxe Wall Tents. And Johnny's Sausage and Meats.
So we're getting prepped for my Alberta bighorn sheep hunt in the Wilmore. As everyone knows, a lot of work goes into it, right down to packing. So we start the week before. My dad decides to jump in with me at the last second. He wants to get in on another ram hunt and show the young guys how it's done. We get all our gear together, we double check, triple check, we get all our horse boxes packed up. We figure out what we need, where we're going. You know, is it gonna turn into 10 days, 14 days? Who knows what the weather is?
Well, I just got to my dad's here, so yeah, let's go inside and see what he's up to. He's been texting me nonstop, wondering where I am. Well, now he knows where I am. So, what are you up to, Dad?
Typing an email.
You've been phoning me all morning, wondering where I am, so we can go.
Has he?
Yep.
Dan, it's about time you got here. It's already like 1 o'clock and we haven't left yet. And I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. And no wonder you can't kill anything because you're never up on time. You're always sleeping in till 9 or 10 in the morning.
What do you got packed? Just that 1 bag? That's all you're taking?
I need 1 bag, 1 gun, 1 bullet. That's all I need.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Almost to Grand Cache. Can't tell you where I'm going in at, but one of these trail entrances along the Highway 40 here. Yeah, I've been putting on with my dad's crap for a couple hours, so it's pouring rain and it's black, and by the looks of the weather change, it's supposed to pour rain for the next 2 days, so we're going to be riding in on the horses in the rain, but hopefully it goes good. By the time we get into base camp, it's supposed to be nice and sunny for opening day of sheep season, so yeah. That's all we can ask for, and that's all we can hope for, is sunshine when it comes to kill day.
This segment brought to you by Redline Powercraft and Yamaha. Family fun from land to sea.
Weaver Group Limited, the leader in Western Canada's energy industry.
Pouring rain here in Grand Cache. We're going to be heading out. Got a pretty good pack team here. and got all our gear in the boxes, and we're about an hour here, we'll be ready to go.
So it's day one of our sheep hunt. Get to my good buddy Curtis's house. Got him riding me in because I couldn't get my horses together in time. It's an absolute downpour. It's torrential rain and sleet and snow. We pack our pack horses up, we saddle our saddle horses, we get our gear together, we get our cameras in the saddle bag, we get our rifles tied tight, licenses in our pocket, tag under my hat, one shell behind the ear because I forgot my clip at home, and we're heading in. By the time we get to base camp that night, we rode all day in the pouring rain, drug horses up muddy hills, walked 3/4 of the way in just because the trail was so bad. And we spent the next 3 days glassing for sheep, finding elk, and getting soaking wet.
It's the second morning of my sheep hunt with my dad here. We're just at base camp. There's a lot of other hunters here, and Curtis is bringing in our horses right now on the string, and we're gonna get packed up here and head up the mountain. We got put out by the rain, but as you can see, there's my ponies, and we're gonna get going here and get up this mountain. The weather's been pushing us back, but yeah, these other hunters are going different ways here in base camp, but it was a pretty full house when we got here last night, and we're gonna continue on. On the trail here, day 2, heading into God's country. Got my dad in front of me on my horses, and with our trusty man, Mr. Curtis Halleck. And we're gonna hit the trail. We're already on the trail, and we're gonna hit the main trail. We're gonna be going up the mountain today, camp in the Alpines. That's the plan. Our Alberta bighorn hunt here this year. Heavy frost last night, and gonna saddle up the horses here again and go right into another basin. It's the day before season now, so I still got one full day of scouting today before we start hunting tomorrow, and gonna get some rams found. Well, we just found our first group of sheep here, group of ewes. Way up there on the rocks. A little shaky on the horse right now. There they are. Well, we just got to where we're gonna park the horses here, and we're gonna head back up the mountain. We're heading that way. We got sheep right above us here, as you've seen, some ewes and lambs. What do you figure, man? We'll find the boys that breed them. Sounds like a plan to me. We're going straight up there, so next time you see us, we'll be on top. It's been raining most of the morning, so I couldn't do a whole lot of filming, but I'm up as high as she gets now, and following some good sheep trails. Seen about 16 ewes and lambs this morning so far, and 2 young rams, but nothing legal yet. I got one more bull I'm gonna check before dark, and then I gotta get back down to the bottom and on to the next 2 drainages tomorrow. Tomorrow's opening day. I was hoping we'd have a legal ram spotted before then, but see what happens before dark. Keep a positive mind. If not, we'll be pushing hard again tomorrow.
This segment brought to you by Black Eagle Arrows, the most durable and accurate arrows on the market.
Back in my day, we didn't have these yuppie coffee stores. We roasted our coffee over a fire like real men. Ain't that right, Brutus? You're such a good dog. Old Smokes Coffee, crafted coffee for the courageous. have a big cup, shut the up.
Well, we just got to where we're gonna park the horses for the day, and we're gonna climb up over this ridge and check this next basin. Today's opening day. Hopefully we can find some rams. So we're just getting geared up here and we're on our way. Let's go find some sheep.
So it's partway through the hunt here. We're glassing ewes, we're glassing young rams. We find a beautiful 7x7 bull elk that I called right into under 40 yards, probably a 340 class Wilmore bull, just an absolute awesome elk. But should have brought the bow, but we never brought a bow with us. This was strictly a sheep hunting adventure. When you're going back in there, you see so many animals, you never know what to choose. So one year I always just pick one animal and go. And so we never seen any rams. We're working our way back out, drainage after drainage, and I finally spot the group of rams that we've been looking for that I knew was in there. They actually were, we rode right by them on the way in. They were a lot closer than I thought they were.
Way over there on the rock point, you can barely see the white dots. We got 8 rams bedded. 2 are legal for sure. And we're gonna take off after them real soon here.
All right, it's 100% go time. We just dropped all our packs and stuff, and we're gonna sneak right over the ridge here, and there should be rams right below it. So let's see what happens. Okay, so we got these rams found again. They're about 450 yards in front of us, and we're just gonna wait for them to break the trees here. They're right in there. We're right on top of these rams. They're just over the ridge here. We're trying to stay as low as we can. We gotta find a legal one. The 2 that we can see right now are illegal, so we're trying to make as little movement as possible.
Well, the last time we were chatting, Scott was lying down. We had the rams pinpointed, and instead of waiting it out, we climbed a bit higher, got above them, and we didn't make no noise. The wind was to our advantage, and they just up and went down the mountain.
So we get on these rams on the last day of the hunt. We actually had to head out because my stepmom was sick, so my dad had to get back to her, and we had to make sure everything was okay. We weren't in cell service at all. So we make one play on this group of rams, and they didn't smell us, they didn't see us. We were right on top of them. There was a few trees between us and them, but something changed, or their sixth sense kicked in, and there was just something they didn't like, and they all just turned down the cliff right into the trees, and they just held up 50 yards in the trees. We were watching them in the bush, and we had to go. So that was trip 1 of sheep hunting for the season. We rode back out and got back to solid ground and civilization, and we headed back in again the following week.
Yeah, we're just heading in here. I'm about halfway in. I'm gonna just get dropped off this time, and yeah, see how it goes. Left my rams bedded, and hopefully they're in the same spot. And we're just heading in. I got my good buddy Todd Pitch bringing up the rear behind me. A couple more pack horses in front of me.
So it's the second trip now. My dad's at home, he couldn't make it, so a good family friend was able to jump in with me at the last second and give me a hand. I left the job site, drove to Grand Cache, picked up Todd. We rode in that afternoon, rode right till it was pitch black, hiked in the dark, got set up.
Well, good morning guys. We're just getting out of the old penthouse suite here that we slept in last night. Beautiful wood fireplace and first class accommodations. We're just gonna get geared up here and get ready to head out and see what happens. First morning of the hunt, beautiful morning, clear sky, crystal clear, so.
Almost right.
Yep. Well, our game plan today is to kill sheep. That's all there is to it. Take it slow and easy and see how it goes. Supposed to get weather in the next couple of days. Weather's supposed to turn real bad, so we're gonna try and make today count.
Them rams never even moved from where I left them the week before. They were all still laying on that hillside, hooking their horns into the rocks to hold them because it's pretty steep. She's straight up and down in there, eating on the grass, and we make a play on them.
This segment brought to you by Weaver Group Limited, a leader in Western Canada's energy industry.
So it's the second day of the second trip, and we take off after these rams, and we end up getting right on top of them, and then they moved. So now I'm pinned at 630 to 660 yards, and they ain't moving. If we make another move, they're gonna be on me. So we glass and glass and glass. We pick 3 good ones out of the group. There's two real nice ones. And I start belly crawling.
Okay guys, so this is as real as it gets. I'm 400 yards from the rams right now. Sorry about the little bit of shaky footage, but my adrenaline's just pumping. Todd's behind me. Breakfast is waiting back at camp from the Wrangler. I'm gonna sneak up here, and I got about a 450 yard shot. I'm gonna dial in the Huskmaw, and I'm gonna try and kill one of these rams right now. If not, maybe we can kill 2, because Todd's got a tag too, so.
And we get settled in. One guy's on the spotting scope, one guy's on the binoculars, and I'm on the rifle. I lean down, belly prone over that rock, and it's a waiting game now. We're about 3.5 hours in, and I can't move. The rocks are digging into my stomach and my chest so bad that it's getting to the point where I can't breathe. And the biggest ram of the group gets up, moves. It's a 650 yard type deal shot, 668 I think, or I can't quite remember. And then I get lined in on him, and sure enough, he spins around butt to me, goes behind a rock and lays down. Now all of a sudden the second best ram in the group stands up, and he's slightly quartering away, and he starts to feed uphill on an angle. And I didn't even tell the boys this time to get ready or anything. I dialed in my long range shooting iron there. I took 2 deep breaths. I clicked the safety off, and when he put that front leg forward, I sent that 210 grain burger, and he piled up.
Hey.
That was sweet. Absolutely sweet. It's one of the longer shots I made in a while, 671 yards, but lots of practice and good shooting equipment, that's what you get. Good results. I'll get excited once I have my hands on him and I know he's legit.
So we get down to my big old ram, 16-inch bases, 16.5-inch bases, 34-inch curls, nice 8.5-year-old ram. And my cameras, all my camera gear, my small camera was still working, but my 2 videoing cameras, they go blank. I don't know if it's from the heat or what, but I'm in full panic mode. I'm so excited about my ram on one side of me, but on the other side of me, I can't figure out why my cameras won't turn on, won't film, nothing's happening. So our infield interviews are somewhere still in the Wilmore. We're not sure where, but they're floating around on one of them mountaintops. So we're riding out on the 3rd day of the 2nd trip. So 1 day in, 1 kill day, 1 day out on the 2nd trip. And I tag cell service for a minute there as we're getting close to the river, and I call Fish and Wildlife in Grand Cache, and I get on them right away and ask them to meet me that night to measure and plug my ram. My ram gets officially measured, it gets entered into the database. Fish and Wildlife plug my ram. Here in Alberta, they drill a little hole in the back of the horn, and a little metal plug goes into your ram with a number on it, and every single ram that's harvested in Alberta is registered.
Well, I appreciate everything, and it was a pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Well,
keep up the good work.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure, man. And we'll get this ram back in the truck, guys, and that's pretty much a wrap. I got a long drive ahead of me home, and then back into the Wilmore again. We got some more sheep to find.
Well, thanks for watching my bighorn sheep episode here in Alberta in the Wilmore Wilderness area. I always try to do 1 or 2 trips a year in the Wilmore, whether it's sheep hunting, moose hunting, elk hunting. If you haven't experienced it, you got to give it a go. You got to get back in there and enjoy that fresh mountain air and the beautiful scenery. It's not even about the harvest or the animals. It's good times, good friends, good laughs, and it's just an experience you're not going to get anywhere else in North America.